The CFO should really be in the middle of the collision of strategic planning, capital markets, and business intelligence.
Joining me today is Sherry Rexroad, Chief Financial Officer with STORE Capital Corporation. Your corporate governance panel here at REITwise looked at many of the issues, but from an investor perspective. Having been a REIT investor yourself for most of your career before joining STORE, how do you think that experience helps you address those issues as a CFO?
You know, my experience as an investor is definitely a benefit, but actually at BlackRock, one of the more meaningful experiences for me was being on the advisory board for the investment stewardship group. And because it really gave me a broad perspective, not just in REITs. And so it really helped me understand, you know, what are the KPIs that are important to investors? How do third-party entities collect that data? And which of those third-party providers are most respected by investors? And so all of those, I think, are really beneficial in the CFO role.
And what would you say is the biggest looming issue that REIT CFOs are going to need to address in the coming years that may not be currently at the top of their priority list?
I think there's two. One might already be there, which is attracting and retaining a diverse talent pool. And in today's current market environment, job market environment, that's become increasingly difficult and one that we need to really adapt and change to attract the right talent. The second one is the development of business intelligence and how it impacts strategic planning. So the CFO should really be in the middle of the collision of strategic planning, capital markets, and business intelligence.
And whether it's the NASDAQ board diversity rule or state-based proposals, what are some of the diversity-related initiatives that companies need to start keeping in mind?
You know, there's going to be a variety of regulatory requirements that really are going to force companies to change, and that's all good. But what we really need to keep in mind is that what we want is a diversity of experience and perspective, not just of ethnic background or gender. And so as we refresh our boards, that ultimately, that diversity of perspective and experience is really what we need. When we look at what REITs have done historically, many of the boards were concentrated in experience in capital markets and real estate. There's a whole wide world out there, and the world is changing at a rapid pace. So we need to adapt our boards to meet that challenge.